Do y'all see how pretty that looks? Let's get into this recipe. So you want to start off with some red potatoes. Yes, I see the what is it called? The spurt, the whatever growing out of the potato, but I'ma still use it because I'm just peeling them off to make some homemade mashed potatoes. I typically like to use red potatoes for this recipe, and now as y'all can see, these potatoes were gonna go bad if I didn't use them. So I needed to use them. So I went in and peeled them. I want to say for this recipe, I used about 7 of them, but it made a lot of potatoes. So come along with me on this journey. Trigger warning. I had some chicken quarters and I split them in half. These Prima Donna knives, go get you some. Like, go get you some. This is not even an ad. I'm just telling you that I really genuinely like her knives because they're super sharp and they do what they do. If you know anything about chicken thighs, they are super hard to clean. People may disagree or agree with that, but yeah, especially these kind with the bone in, you got to remove the guts, all of that stuff from the chicken thigh. And for my drumsticks, I just removed the skin from those. I removed all of the fat that I didn't want to eat. And look at that. Ew, a trigger warning. Clean off your chicken. Then rinse them off with cold water until you don't see any muck or gunk on that water. And look at that pretty chicken. Then after you go in with cleaning them, I went in with some grapeseed oil. You can add any type of neutral oil because it's going to go in the oven. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. I used some chicken Montreal, sazon, onion, and garlic powder, and a little bit of Tony's, and I mixed it in. Now, this was the base seasoning. I did end up adding jerk to them to make them spicy, but not to all of them because my daughter was eating some. So for the base, I just used those seasonings that I showed you in the beginning, and that's how they came out. They look good already, and they're not even cooked, but look how well seasoned they are. That's literally what you want. Now, for the ones that were plain, I'll say I just put those in the pan on the side just like that and added some bell peppers and onions to it. I separated the two because, again, for the other half of the chicken, I added jerk and I didn't want all of them to be spicy. This is the jerk hot and spicy that I like to use, Oracle Woods brand. I added 2 tablespoons full, and that was on, what was that, like 5 pieces of chicken? 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And then I added the bell peppers and the onions on there on top. I cut up a red, yellow, and orange bell pepper and a yellow onion. And then I just added that to the separate pan. I made sure each piece had some jerk seasoning on it. And it was so delicious, y'all. So delicious. Add your bell peppers and your onions on top of that and put that to the side. And do the same thing with your pan that doesn't have the jerk on it. And then I added a little bit of butter, just like a little tablespoon. I added in some chicken broth to the bottom of the pan just a little bit because, you know, when you cover it up, it's going to make its own. And I covered it with aluminum foil and put it in the oven. Now, for your potatoes, I just rinsed them off. I added some butter, no measurements, some heavy whipping cream, minced garlic, salt, and pepper. And then when you're boiling your potatoes, I forgot to add chicken bouillon. Add that to it as well, just to give it some flavor. And then I added some parsley, and then I went in and mashed it. That's literally how I make my homemade mashed potatoes. Now, if you want them super creamy, you add more heavy whipping cream. If you don't want them super creamy, you can just leave them a little chunky like that because it'll dry up. If you want them like a little loose or watery, if you like it, you can add chicken broth. It's just different ways you can play around with it. After about an hour in the oven, I uncovered it for the last like few minutes, and then that was it. I paired it with some Brussels sprouts and mashed potatoes, and that was it. This was the jerk chicken, y'all. It was so delicious. So you're going to leave them covered in the oven, then uncover them, and they will come out crispy just like this. 10 out of 10. I'm telling you, it's going to be falling off the bone, okay? Do y'all see how pretty that jerk chicken looked? And the other chicken looked just the same. I'm telling you. Try this recipe. Bye, y'all.